Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
All right. Honestly, I just wanted to do this video real quick. I saw Two Raw for Sports and Angry Old Hoops fan. They pointed this clip out. I was like, oh, let me check it out. This would be perfect to go over like right before Game 3 starts. Because, I mean, fuck, man. Like, I genuinely feel like a LeBron hater at this point. Because, like, to hear Robert Horry, which is like, he established himself as like an NBA guy, right? As a vet, as a clutch role player on some of the biggest teams in NBA history. He's kind of established. We agree, right? But for some reason, he feels the need to tiptoe around with words with this LeBron guy. Like, I'm not even saying that's LeBron's doing. It's at the very least his fan base is doing. So just to anger and aggravate them, I'm gonna make another LeBron James video right here, right now. Here's Robert Horry talking about what happened after Game 2.
Playoffs of the second game of a team
Make sure my audio is good.
has your number.
Yeah.
I think for me, the first thing I ever learned
Oh, that's good.
when I got in this league, Olajuwon came to me and it's like, keep it simple. Down the stretch, the Lakers didn't keep it simple. What I mean by that is on the offensive end. They started to do all these little screens and all these trickeries to try to get the mismatch. You know what a mismatch was? AD on the post. And when they didn't start going to AD on the post, one shot in the fourth quarter, he had 32 points going into the fourth. And for me, you have to understand mismatches. LeBron is 39. Yes, he's one of the best players ever to play this game. He had no advantage tonight. That ISO at the top got them in trouble. You know why? Denver was able to rest on the defensive end. They sat there and they waited on LeBron to make his move, and then they went in. I love LeBron to death, but to me, that's not winning basketball. If you
Now hold on real fast. I was like saying that as I was watching, like, because AD was fucking killing. He was destroying, man. And it's like, I was saying, like, if you saw the reaction I did to the last like 7 minutes something of the game, I was like saying a good thing that LeBron was slowing the ball down, assuming that they're going like, hey man, get AD the fucking ball, give it to him in the post. He's probably gonna draw fouls or he's gonna eat clock up trying to post someone up, right? Or he draws a double team and passes it out. Easy, simple. But I don't know why they went like this guy got one shot in the fourth quarter. Like, that's incredible, man. The guy who was like dominant, he was the best player on the court, definitely in the first half and probably midway through the third. Like the only one putting up a chance against him, I guess, would be Joker or fucking D'Lo, right? Because D'Lo's hitting fucking 3 after 3, but he cooled off. 80 didn't, bro. 80 was still consistently scoring. He's out there playing hard defense. He's grabbing rebounds. Like, give him the fucking ball, man. Let him be the fucking hero. Seriously. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that was LeBron's call. I don't know if that's the coach's call. But I mean, LeBron did play like a large role in he played good in the fourth quarter. He had some good moments, some really good moments in the fourth quarter, especially when the Nuggets came back. But if I rewatch that game and I find out that because he's eating the ball at the top of the fucking three-point line is the reason why they came back in the first place, it kind of nullifies all of the good work he did after that. Like, really does. It's like, dude, like, I think he had like they have 12 points at halftime, maybe less. Like, yo, be okay with that. Take your 15 points. Take your 15 points, let 80 get fucking 40-something, maybe even 50. Win the fucking game. It actually plays more of a role in your legacy than you being like, I scored 50 points, but you lost. But here's more Robert Horry. And once again, pay attention to him, like, kind of like dancing around with his words, because I think he's worried about the LeBron fan base and, I guess, people in the media. And he's talking to Laker Nation, so. All right, here we go.
Yes, he is one of the best players ever to play this game. He had
Why do you have
no
to say
advantage
that?
tonight. That ISO at the top got them in trouble. You know why? Denver was able to rest on the defensive end. They sat there and they waited on LeBron to make his move, and then they went in. I love LeBron to death, but to me,
I love him.
that's not winning basketball. If you on a break going downhill like that, I am fine with it. But when you get it stationary at top, and I know people are going to kill me for saying this because I'm talking about LeBron James. It's basketball. Go to the first half. Did we have that in the first half with LeBron icing at the top? No, we did not. We had D'Lo. Even though D'Lo saved with some threes, the ball was moving. 80 was in the post. You was getting it to him in a stationary position where he can make his move. There's a lot of things that went on in this game. You can bring the subs on the coaching staff. You can blame LeBron, ISO, and you can blame AD for not taking the ball in the post. There's so many things you can point out. And when you in a playoff game and you have a lead like that, you don't need to be fancy on the offensive end. Just be simple.
Exactly.
Get it to the mismatch. You had Jokic, who's on a bum knee ankle. He couldn't play.
5 times in a row down the stretch.
And AD was cooking, but then you go away from it. To me, you got to understand, it ain't about me. It's about we in the playoffs, and you got to go to the advantage. And AD in the second half, who had the advantage throughout the first half, we totally forgot about him.
I mean, beautifully said by Robert Horry. Beautifully said. Like, you got to feed that guy, man. Something makes me think that Robert Horry actually does watch these YouTube channels where they're like, yo, LeBron James, the overrated GOAT, or some shit like that, or the most overrated. Something tells me he watches those videos because the way he's just like dancing around with that shit, like he's like, yeah, like, oh, he's the king, he's the god, he's the best player ever, he's the greatest thing ever, but he fucked up right there. Like, he has to like put all these caveats before he says that, before he criticizes the guy. I know he didn't call him the GOAT, but I'm saying, like, he had to say all these nice pleasantries about him before he had to let him know, yo, this guy fucked up though. And that's, I don't know if that's what's needed from his fan base, and they're fucking idiots and honestly pussies. If LeBron himself needs that, then he's a fucking pussy. And it's like, maybe you guys shouldn't be doing, major international giant fucking sports where these are giant celebrities that get paid millions and millions of dollars. Maybe they shouldn't be doing these things if they can't take criticism when they fuck up. Because, once again, I'd have to watch the game back, but I don't take Robert Horry for being a liar about this. I think he, like, saw the game. He's like, yo, how come AD's not getting the ball again? Like AD was fucking, what was he, like 11 of 12 from the field in the first half? Like, why isn't he getting the ball down, like, on offense, like, every time, and fucking trying to chew up Joker until they force someone else to guard him? It's a good point to make. Just by shot attempts alone, someone should be like, yo, how come AD's, like, all of a sudden his shot attempts just drop off? Like, completely drop off. As the game's getting closer and closer, the score's getting closer and closer, and his shots start dropping off more and more. It doesn't make sense. So I'd have to rewatch the game to find out exactly, like, when the score started turning over and for what reasons. Did they start getting into perimeter strictly offense and forgot about AD because he wasn't getting shots? Was AD lacking in aggression? I know down the stretch they just weren't giving him the ball. I watched that full out. They were not giving him the ball in the post or even the high post to let him, like, make a move and score a point. But were they doing that earlier in the fourth quarter? Was AD, like, maybe touching the ball and throwing it back out? Or were they not throwing him the ball then either? Oh, man. Dumb guy logic. Robert Horry just said it right there. It's dumb guy logic. When he gets the ball and shoots a lot, we're up by 20. He stops shooting the ball, we lose. That should be dumb guy logic enough to be like, okay, maybe we should be running this as a game plan. Not to mention the fouls it can draw and the clock it can kill instead of just running and gunning from the perimeter and shit like that. But it is what it is. I just wanted to get that video and react to that before the game starts tonight, which is going to be very soon. Right now, there's a minute and 19 seconds left. The Knicks are down by 7 in the fourth quarter, 120 to 113. Really looking for that first win series. Heard you all guaranteed a fucking series win. Okay, we'll see. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you at the end of the game.